Thank you for joining me on the Radar Omega app. If you're watching, I just left work. I'm in downtown Indianapolis. We have a tornado warning to our west, about 30 miles away. That includes, it's actually probably a little bit further than that. Just passed through Rockville, Indiana, heading towards North Salem, Jamestown, Brownsburg. There's a couple of spin-up areas along that line. So we're gonna head up north. I'm gonna get on 65 here in a second and get up towards the Whitestown area. Whitestown, Brownsburg. Sit and wait, see what plays out. I'm gonna look at mesoanalysis here in a second too. See where, if there's any surface vorticity anywhere. Day at work today. Colts lost again. Got off just in time to do a little storm chasing. See if these cells can do anything. To look and see what the environment's looking like right now. Probably not going to have sustained storms for too much longer. Not very much surface-based cape. And these photographs are terrible. Might have to drop south. I guess I'm live on YouTube too. I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, I'll just delete that stream later. Yeah, I didn't mean to be live on YouTube. But, whatever, I guess people on YouTube, thanks for joining me as well. It's going to say that I didn't set up my stream for YouTube, so it's just going to say there's heavy snow here, which is not the case. We're chasing tornadoes. I don't know, I turned off my YouTube connection on my live streaming app, but it's still streaming there, so I guess it's fine. tornado warnings to the south. Squall line down there. storms on radar to the north don't look as strong as the squall line that's further south. That squall line looks a lot stronger. If something's going to spin up, it's going to be along that squall line. Storms, any storms north of Lebanon are kind of looking a little ugly. gonna head gonna get on 74 West here in a second towards Brownsburg, then try and find a spot to sit for a little bit. These storms are moving pretty quickly. I can keep dropping south along this line to find a target if I need to. It's not a whole lot going on with these storms. appreciate everyone tuning in from the Radar Mega app. I'm about to get on 74 here in a second. Head over to Brownsburg and wait to see if these two cells do anything. If you look on the app, you can see a long line, a big squall line, and then there's kind of two isolated cells. The one cell had a tornado warning on it earlier, and it has the rotation has dissipated in the last 20 minutes, so it is no longer tornado warned. If I can keep dropping south, I'm not sure. We can get some brief spin-ups. Indianapolis, we've had some squall lines come through our area this year, and had a decent amount of little brief tornadoes, even some strong tornadoes embedded in the squall line. I'm not a huge fan of the north-south, the northeast-southwest orientation of that squall line right now in our area, but of course you get a little bit better shear vectors down south. A lot of tornado warnings down near Evansville at the moment. Got a couple of chasers down there too. Have to wait and see if this line does anything as it comes our way. I'm not super confident looking at mesoanalysis, seeing how much instability we have to work with. It's dark now too. Some decent wind shear, especially if you continue to go south. The wind shear is decently. We got some good forcing. Even with marginal instability, we have such strong forcing with this cold front and some decent wind shear that we could definitely get a few spin-ups. We already had one in Illinois that might have been significant. It looks like EF2 damage minimum on some of those homes with the roofs ripped off completely. And a couple other brief spin-ups happened earlier, and then I'm not sure about. I haven't really checked out all those warnings down to my south, but I haven't seen any confirmations on any tornado warnings yet. Grifter and Blondie, thank you for joining me. Sorry about the thumbnail and stuff. I wasn't planning on chasing today, but I got off work early, a couple hours earlier than I thought I was going to. So now we're just trying to see if this squall line moving into the area is going to do anything or not. Oh, there was some lightning. Oh, it's more lightning. which is surprising because the instability is so marginal. This squall line has not had a lot of lightning today. They usually don't in these environments, but saw a couple flashes there. That's a good sign. A little bit stronger of a storm in the area. Okay, we just entered Brownsburg. Gonna kind of hang out. I don't know what this guy's doing. Gonna kind of hang out in this area and see which of these storms. The one to my north is looking a little bit better now, and then the line to the south, I don't like the way it looks, but you could get a brief spin up along that line, kind of along on I-70 down to it's moving due east now, down towards the Martinsville area and Bloomington. Of course, there's plenty of warnings down near Evansville, Mount Carmel, Illinois, Vincennes as well. Jamestown, you're taking a hit from the storm. Lebanon, you got rain there, but the stronger storms are to your south. Yeah, there's anything north of Lebanon, like I mentioned earlier, is kind of looking pretty weak at the moment. A few lightning strikes. The storm going through Jamestown, North Salem is a little bit interesting. Got almost a little bit of a boat west of Lebanon, south of Thortown. There's a little bit of convergence there. Wonder if that would become anything. Thorntown. Appreciate everyone tuning in today. If you're on the Radar Mega app or YouTube, I wasn't planning to be live. I wasn't sure if I'd get off work in time. I don't know if these storms are getting weaker, but they're not looking very healthy right now. Of course, there's a road. I did not know this road was closed either. I gotta go around and get to 267. Oh, big lightning. At least there's some lightning, you know. You can't complain about it being 65 with thunderstorms in Indiana on December 20, today the 28th or something like that. Can't complain about it. It's been in the 60s the last few days here in Indianapolis. That is going to change. It'll be below 40 every single day. Snow chances in Indiana, I think on Tuesday a little bit. I'm heading up to Michigan tonight after this line passes through chase the lake effect snow, central western Michigan. I may even venture a little bit further north. I got like a 3-4 hour drive tonight to get to my hotel, and then get up early in the morning. Some models are showing 6 to 8 inches of snow in the Holland area. Of course, if you're way up in the upper peninsula of Michigan, you may be getting several feet of snow through tomorrow. There's already been blizzard conditions today. I've seen on the app and on X from other chasers. This low pressure system was very strong. This is the kind of system that would produce big time tornado outbreaks in the early springtime. If this was March, we'd be talking about isolated supercells, strong tornadoes, maybe dozens of tornadoes. If this was like March 15th or something, or March 18th. But there's no instability in place. The cold front actually wasn't as progressive as it looked it to be earlier. Of course, a lot of the models, like the ARRR, always underdo dew points by a little bit. There's usually a little bit more instability for the atmosphere to work with than what we see on models, especially like the NAM and ARRR as well. I do have a link in my description on YouTube to download the Radar Mega app if you don't have it already. Of course, if you read the description, it's all about the last time I went live streaming in the snow, and I just didn't change it today because I didn't think I'd be live streaming, and then I kind of had to rush out of work to get everything set up, but I didn't have time to edit a thumbnail and stuff like that. It's kind of a little bit goofy on my part. I should have just changed it last night. I wasn't very confident. I thought there was maybe like a 5 or 10% chance I'd get off work in time, but it ended up working out for me. Still got some tornado warnings. Mount Carmel in Illinois, Lawrenceville. That's crossing the Indiana border here shortly. Those storms are way through Thorntown. You're in the clear now. So is Jamestown. Storm's coming through Lebanon, but you should be in the clear any second. couple areas of convergence, but they're weak and broad and not producing tornadoes at the moment. No warnings, just a severe thunderstorm warning. Wow, nice lightning there. Big flashes. Definitely in the right area. Let me look at my... see how much lightning. Seriously. Appreciate everyone who's tuning in today. We are just north of Brownsburg, heading up a little bit north. Storms look a little bit stronger to my north. Let's see where. There's a good amount of lightning between Lebanon and Brownsburg, Jamestown, moving east. Within an hour and a half, temperature's gonna drop probably like 30 degrees. It is currently 61 degrees here in Brownsburg, Indiana. By 9 o'clock, it'll probably be in the low 30s, mid to low 30s, as the temperature drops as the cold front passes through. Then let's see what the rest of the week looks like for the Indianapolis Metro. Tomorrow 26, 28 Tuesday, 36 Wednesday for New Year's. There's a snow chance on Monday a little bit, especially north, and then some flurries on Thursday as well. Temperatures all below 40 all week. Not freezing cold, not frigid cold like we had a few weeks ago where it was below zero a few days, but still about average for the year, maybe a little bit below average temperatures for this week now. Might have another system moving through the week after. Last time I looked, looks like we had some snow chances here in the Midwest again. As far as severe weather goes, nothing in the immediate future, at least in our area. Maybe we'll see some severe weather down in Texas, Louisiana in a few weeks. I drove by Connections Point a little while ago. Alright, we're in the squall line now. yeah, not really any convergence. Whole lot going on right now, guys. There's a little bit of rotation by Stylesville, which is just to the west of the Indianapolis International Airport. But that's pretty broad rotation, and I don't think it'll last too long. Very heavy rain. It's really not that bad. gonna stop for 1 second and plan my next move. There's like little embedded rotation along I-70, Clayton, Indiana, heading towards Plainfield. But like I said earlier, it's very broad, and it's probably not going to produce tornadoes. They probably won't even get warned. There are no more tornado warnings ongoing at the moment. Yeah, I'm just not seeing any rotation on this line. Let me go back south. Even the storms near Evansville kind of lost their strength. Not seeing much rotation. Not seeing anything at this point. Everything north of Indianapolis is falling apart. It's not even, you're not even getting a strong squall line. guess we'll keep going east through Indianapolis and try to drop south on any rotation that may or may not form. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom so bad. Yeah. This might be cooked chat. Mesoanalysis doesn't look great. There's almost no instability left. Photographs, especially central northern Indiana, don't look good at all for rotating supercells. Or just general rotation in a line, any kind of convergence in the squall line. Anything that does pop up tends to be very brief and very broad. think that today the severe weather threat is definitely over for central and northern Indiana as far as tornadoes are concerned. We still have heavy rain, a few flashes of lightning, maybe some gusty winds. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning. Not sure how we may see a couple more brief spin-ups, but I doubt it. Just looking at meso-analysis and just looking at the reflectivity on radar, storms don't look very strong. Squall line doesn't look very healthy, not what you want to see. If you live in like far eastern Indiana, maybe parts of south central Indiana, southern Indiana, you might see one or two more brief spin-ups. You might get a couple more tornado warnings, but I'm not expecting too much. Oh, we got a tornado warning just west of Bloomington, Indiana. It's pretty close to where I live in Martinsville, which is about 30 minutes north of there. That's actually got a little hook on it. That's a decent looking storm there. I didn't want to drop too far south because I have to get up to Michigan here in a few hours for the snow tomorrow. Looks like there's more rotation. There's a couple more spots of rotation further south. Yeah. Anywhere around Indianapolis and north, you should be good though. I'm not sure how the instability looks further south, but the wind shear photographs definitely look better further south. Probably why you're getting more rotation. Even that squall line on the south side of Indianapolis had few weak, broad, embedded rotations for a little bit, kind of off and on for the last 45 minutes, but those didn't get tornado warning. They were too weak. They're already dissipated. Indianapolis metro area. So we should all be good. We still have a tornado possible tag, but they're going to keep that on there so they don't have to issue tornado warnings. But if you are out traveling right now, especially if you're on the interstate, we will continue to see severe thunderstorm warnings, as this line can still produce 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. Probably not going to see any hail. Marginal hail, maybe less than an inch in diameter. Gotta stop and get gas and use the restroom. Then, but I can continue to follow this line for a little while. Oh man. It's the best bathroom break I've ever had. That was painful. Let's see what we got going on. Still a tornado possible attack for the severe thunderstorm warning all the way up just south of Kokomo. Till 9 p.m. Let's see what's going on. We have one tornado warning. For Elberfield. Rotation looks pretty weak on that storm down near Evansville. Let's see what else we got going on. Guess I'll stream for a little bit longer, but maybe like another 20 or 30 minutes, but it's not really reason for me to anymore. ended for now. Probably still going to see a few more at some point. Following me on YouTube, I appreciate you tuning in today for this quick little live stream to cover any tornado potential here in central Indiana, around the Indianapolis metro area. I wasn't planning on streaming today, that's why I didn't have everything set up right. Didn't have my thumbnail ready or I didn't update anything. But I appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching from MaxxStream 2 and you're a new subscriber, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be chasing tomorrow too. I'll have a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to get that set up when I get to my hotel tonight from central and western Michigan, maybe even into northern Michigan for heavy lake effect snow all throughout tomorrow morning. I'll be live probably pretty early in the morning, all the way through the evening. So look out for that stream. You can follow me on YouTube and you can follow my stream on the Radar Omega app. The link is in the description to download the app on Android and iOS platforms. You can also find it on the Apple Store, in the Apple Store on your phone. It's about $9 and all the tools are free. Of course, if you want premium features, you can get a monthly subscription for $4.99 a month starting out for the lowest. Yeah, not much happened here in central and northern Indiana. We had a few tornadoes, maybe even a significant tornado in Illinois earlier. A couple more brief spin-ups I noticed earlier as well when I was at work. There's still a possibility of a few brief spin-ups, especially south of Indianapolis. But that threat is dwindling as we speak. I don't expect it to last too much longer. I think the tornado watch expires here in central Indiana at like 9 p.m., but the storms are already through the area, so you guys are all clear. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag and wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. That includes Muncie and Newcastle. And that expires in 30 minutes. Tornado watch expires in 2 hours. And that goes all the way over to Winchester, Rushville, Greensburg. Areas further south that I'm more concerned about. But any tornadoes that do form are going to be weak and brief, most likely. bit of broad rotation south of Anderson, Indiana, but nothing substantial, nothing to worry about. For the time being. Yeah, I think I'm passing Chatham Hills. Chatham Hills. Let me look at that. Chatham Hills along 31. That's where the Live Golf Tour came. Played golf there. headed north. past Westfield. So I'm probably going to end the stream here in a few minutes. There's no reason for me to keep streaming. I appreciate everyone who tuned in today. I wasn't planning on doing a stream today, but I got out of work early enough. Unfortunately, besides some flashes of lightning, we didn't really get to see anything. After I left work, there was less than 500 joules of surface-based CAPE in central Indiana, and we had a little bit of SIN building in, and the wind shear, especially north of Indianapolis, the photographs looked terrible, and kind of figured we wouldn't really see anything. A little bit further south in Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana, or along the Ohio River, we have better moisture, a little bit better moisture, and a little bit better wind shear too. So could still see some brief spin ups along the line, and we saw more warnings down there. I'm surprised they went with a 5% today. I thought a 2% was pretty justified. Probably, from what I've seen, we probably had 5 to 8 tornadoes today total, including maybe one significant tornado in just south of Decatur, Illinois. We have no tornado warnings at the moment, I believe. Let me check that out. South of Henderson, Kentucky now, for a decent convergence signal. I think there's a couple of spots along the line south of Evansville that could get warned. I don't even, let me look. I don't even think that they have 2% in Kentucky, unless it was a later update. Okay, now it's on there. It definitely wasn't on there earlier. They have that 2% all the way up towards Sandusky and Cleveland, Ohio, but I'm not. It's possible, but I really doubt it, based on the way these storms look. Very surprised to see any tornado warnings in northwestern Ohio this evening. Mostly just going to see damaging wind gusts. Cat's good. He's just chilling at home. right, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in today. Please join me for my live stream tomorrow morning through the afternoon and evening across most of Michigan, especially central and western Michigan. Gonna have some heavy snow. We already have blizzard-like conditions up in the upper peninsula of Michigan with this low pressure system moving through. Potentially a couple feet of snow in the area. We won't get as much snow in the lower part of Michigan tomorrow, but some areas may still see 6 to 8 inches of snow. I will be live in the morning on the Radar Omega app and YouTube. I'll get that stream set up tonight so it doesn't look ridiculous like my stream did today. I apologize for that because I wasn't planning on streaming and I didn't have enough time to get everything set up, and I kind of just rushed out of work so I could at least get in position for this line if there are any tornado warnings. We had one warning for some rotation west of Indianapolis, but after that these storms kind of perished, which was not a surprise to me. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. I will see you guys in the morning. Thank you very much. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I have a link in the description for the Radar Omega app if you don't have it. I appreciate you all. You can also follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Same username, C Palermo Storms. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next stream.